Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Sunday, August 28th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about my core picks for today, it is 11-game main slate once again today, and then talking about my top GPP stacks for today as well. At the time of this recording, my article is not up at webetats.com, but once that is available, I'll leave a link to it down in the comments below. But without further ado, we'll get started with the recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Domingo Germán. He was $8,600. He got to 42 points yesterday, so he was a hit in the fourth overall pitcher on yesterday's slate. One of the better value pitchers overall yesterday. There was a couple of cheap pitchers, him, David Peterson, and Zach Plesac, that all kind of paid off yesterday, but he's definitely in that group. Then at first base, we had Pete Alonso at $4,100. He only got to 3 points yesterday, so I had to give him a miss. He went 1 for 4 on the day. Nothing too much to say there. And then at second base, we had Jorge Polanco, $2,800, got to 0 points. He was a mess. Unfortunately, ended up getting hurt in this game. So that really did impact him yesterday and kind of limit his upside overall, obviously. And then we moved down to the outfield where we had Hunter Renfroe at $3,400, got to 6 points, so I did give him a push. Not anybody that killed us, but not anybody that put our lineup over the top. And then last but not least, we had Will Myers at $2,300, got to 22.2 points. He was a hit in the 6th overall outfielder on yesterday's slate. So a little bit of a hit or miss day. We had 2 pretty good hits in Domingo Germán and Will Myers. Hunter Renfroe was just kind of there as a push, and then the other 2 guys were misses yesterday. So a little bit of an unfortunate day. Made it a little bit harder to cash if you went with this core 5. You need a couple other hitters to kind of really bail you out on yesterday's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position, and once again, I got Noah Syndergaard. He's $8,900 on today's slate, averaging 26 fantasy points per game. Going against the Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the weaker offenses in all of baseball. The biggest thing about Noah Syndergaard the last time out is he only got 1 strikeout. If he can get those strikeouts up today against this Pirates team that does like to strike out quite a bit, could be a very, very good play. We're looking for 40 points or more out of him today. Then we're going to move down to second base with Jeff McNeil at $2,800, averaging just over 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Colorado Rockies and German Marquez today. He is 3 for 6 versus him in his career. Some pretty decent upside there. You can also play Jeff McNeil in the outfield if you really want to do so as well. So a little bit of a versatile piece there. Hitting the ball pretty well as of late as well. So you can't really go wrong with Jeff McNeil on today's slate overall. Then we move down to third base with Heimer Candelario. $2,100. A very disappointing season for him. He's been kind of down. But the last couple of games been a little bit better. Starting to turn around, starting to hit a bit. So if he can do that once again today against the Texas Rangers, it's Koji O'Hara pitching for them today. He has no history versus him in his career. Some pretty decent upside there. And if he hits, it's probably going to be a pretty good hit at $2,100. Definitely worth taking that risk on today. Then we move down to the outfield. We got Mike Trout at $4,200, averaging just over 12 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Toronto Blue Jays and Ross Stripling today. Stripling's been pitching pretty well, but Mike Trout is 7 for 11 with 3 home runs versus him in his career. He's also got a home run in 3 out of his past 4 games. So definitely some pretty good upside there. Stripling is somebody that I do have in my cheat sheet as kind of a pay down option if you really want to go there. But the one hitter that I would play, probably not against him if I'm playing him in a lineup, but definitely overall today is going to be Mike Trout in that Angels lineup. And then last but not least, we have Eloy Jimenez at $3,000, averaging about 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Zach Davies today. He is 2 for 2 with 1 home run versus him in his career, so some pretty good upside there once again. And Eloy Jimenez has been one of the hotter hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break, so I definitely don't mind having some exposure to him once again. And $3,000 is not a bad price tag by any means. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you'll have $14,000 exactly, $3,500 per player, so you definitely have some more opportunities to pay up for players if that's something you want to do. Pay down for a couple other value options, kind of in to mix and match in that regard. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely viable on today's slate as well. A lot of different options out there on an 11-game slate overall. But with that being said, we'll get over to the top GPP stacks for today. As I already mentioned, my article is not yet up at the time of this recording, but once it is available, I'll leave a link to it down in the comments below. So the stacks that I do have today are going to be the Minnesota Twins going against Jacob Junis of the San Francisco Giants. A lot of these hitters do have pretty good history versus him. I wasn't expecting there to be this much history versus him, but there is. Guys like Carlos Correa are going to look pretty good. He's got 2 home runs versus him in his career. Then I do have the Philadelphia Phillies. Once again, it's been a good week for stacking the Phillies, or at least on paper. paper, it's been a good week for stacking the Phillies. They go against Rosani Contreras. They do not have any prior history versus him, so I'll be interested to see how that game plays out, but do not mind going back to some Phillies bats once again today. Then we have the Toronto Blue Jays going against Tucker Davidson of the Los Angeles Angels. He's still a very young pitcher. He's never faced this Blue Jays teams before. Obviously, the Blue Jays do have a ton of upside, so do like that matchup once again. But there is a little bit of risk that Davidson could have a strong pitching performance, as he was a former top prospect. And then we do have the Mets going against German Marquez. They hit him pretty well earlier this season. Got some pretty good history versus him throughout their respective hitters' careers. So I would not be surprised if the Mets end up being one of the top stacks once again today. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, August 28th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on today's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you had to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Primarily MLB DFS at this point in time, but once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I will be covering those two sports as well. And in the case of NFL, that is right around the corner, so definitely excited for the content that's going to be coming out for NFL DFS this season. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.